Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fitchburg Business Appreciation Luncheon. I'm Pancho Beisenheimer, Vice President of Research at Promega, and we are honored to have you here for this period. It's your 40th anniversary for the city of Fitchburg. It's notable to also mention that it is the 45th anniversary of Promega. Thank you. This building is a symbolic representation that at Promega, a quarter is not 3 months, it's 25 years. And so getting ready over the next 5 years, we're about to enter our third quarter here. So this building is really built as a multi-generational place to gather scientists from around the world in order to meet and solve problems that are the biological challenges of our time. It's named after Arthur Kornberg, who won the Nobel Prize in 1959 in medicine. And if you really look at the building today, you'll notice that the environment is an unusual environment for a center of scientific methodology. Scientific methodology commonly can be considered and even prided on its dispassionate, unbiased, sterile look. But it's a little different here. And that is both on purpose and maybe even non-obvious. Consider the definition of inventive in the United States and in agencies throughout the world is novel, non-obvious, beneficial solutions. And so the non-obvious environment of this building is really designed to kind of push our scientists to a higher level, to be thinking at a higher energy state to get to those inventive spaces. In addition to us really kind of curating this space to be innovative in, we have always held a strong focus on sustainability. So I'm going to read a little bit about the sustainable practices in our building that have really made this building use about 65% less energy than a building its size. So in here, Kornberg embodies the principles of integrated global recognized best practices in reducing energy by 65%. This includes a double skin facade for enhanced insulation, automated windows for natural ventilation, daylight and active slab heating and cooling, ground source heat pumps and on-site solar arrays, rainwater collection, and a green roof, all aimed at creating a more sustainable and responsible infrastructure. We hope that these efforts foster a creative and sustainable environment that will resonate with you today. So we're thankful of the opportunity to host the Fitchburg businesses here today, and we hope that you are enriched by the time that you spend connecting with each of us here. I now have the privilege to invite Mr. Andy Potts, Vice Chair of the Fitchburg Community and Economic Development Authority.
Good afternoon. I'm Andy Potts. I'm the Vice Chair of CEDA, which is our Community and Economic Development Authority. CEDA is a 7-member committee focused on community, housing, and economic development, and the implementation of our City in Motion Economic Development Strategic Plan. The members of our committee are Mark Hamilton, and if you're here, if you could please just acknowledge that. Mark Hamilton, Dan Hardy, Alder Joe Maldonado, Mario Garcia Sierra, and Alder Randy Udell. I would also like to thank our outgoing chair, Jennifer Cleary. She recently moved out of the city of Fitchburg, so that's why you're stuck with me today as the vice chair of the committee. So I apologize in advance. I would also like to give a great thank you to our partners and sponsors who coordinated the planning and details of this year's 2023 Fitchburg Business Appreciation Luncheon. A shout out to the awesome city staff led by Joyce Fry, the amazing production team at Fact TV, our terrific partners at the Fitchburg Historical Society, Fitchburg Chamber Visitor Business Bureau, Promega Corporation, and Governor Evers' office, and our business sponsors at Kelly Moss, Madison Gas and Electric, Vicky Cookies, and Zimbrick, who all helped in their own unique way to make today's luncheon possible as we celebrate Fitchburg's 40 years as a city. Let's give them one more round of applause. So the last time we gathered, at the 2019 Fitchburg Business Appreciation Luncheon to hear Dr. Chuck Rayson share his thoughts on mindfulness and compassion at work, we could have never imagined the challenges we would face and the importance of his message as we persevered through a pandemic. CEDA is delighted to bring back our annual Fitchburg Business Appreciation Luncheon as we celebrate our Fitchburg businesses. We traditionally provide a year in review, but since we missed a couple of years, enjoy this look back at great things that all of you have made possible in Fitchburg since 2020. All right, thank you to Fact TV for that wonderful video. As the city of Fitchburg celebrates its 40th anniversary, many of our businesses and partners have reached milestones of success over the last 3 years. Now, you remember from 2019, there were probably some corny jokes that went along with a lot of these, but fortunately for you, there was a writer's strike, so I don't have any material. We did our best to ensure a complete list. Congratulations to all of our Fitchburg businesses and companies who have a presence in our community and who have celebrated a recent anniversary. Let's start with the 2020 anniversaries. Next up, the 2021 anniversaries. Presenting the 2022 anniversaries. And this year's 2023 anniversaries. Impressive anniversaries and a tribute to your entrepreneurship, longevity, and success. Let's give a round of applause to all of our businesses and partners on their recent anniversaries. We're fortunate that you are a part of our Fitchburg business community. Up next, I'm sure what everyone was waiting for, we do have our 40th anniversary door prizes. I'll read off the names, and staff, you can pick up your door prizes at the registration table from where you entered after the program. And I apologize if I mispronounce or butcher anybody's name. First, we have Sam Blanick, Marcy Pfeiffer Sonderblum, Frederick Flores, Jesse Schreiner, Jody Hannick, Tracy Anderson, and Amy Schuch. Next, I have the privilege to introduce our mayor. Julia Arata Frata was elected mayor in April of 2023. She served as an alderwoman for the City of Fitchburg Common Council for 8 years before becoming mayor. Julia initiated her service, actually with CEDA, in 2014. During her tenure, she served on several commissions, committees, and different leadership roles and acted as president of the council in 2020. Julia's other job is with Wegner CPAs as a senior manager in the Accounting Solutions Group. She has more than 20 years of experience in accounting and in the finance world. Currently, she serves as treasurer of MadRep and is a proud member of the Latino Consortium for Action, and she's an advisor for Leadership Greater Madison. Julia has served on numerous boards such as the Latino Chamber of Commerce, A Grace Hospice, United Way of Dane County, Centro Hispano, Greater Madison Chamber of Commerce, WIBEC, and the Overture Foundation. She was also one of the founding members of the Latino Professional Association. Julia is married and a proud mom of 2 sons, Diego and Julian. She is originally from Argentina and has been a Fitchburg resident since 2004. In her free time, Julia enjoys gardening, snowshoeing, and walking, and real football, which the rest of you might call soccer. Please welcome Mayor Julia Arata Frata.
So thank you, Andy, and thank you everyone for being here, and welcome to Fitchburg. Bienvenidos a Fitchburg, since we have a bilingual mayor, while we don't, speak a little bit of Spanish too. So, welcome everyone to Fitchburg. It's an honor for me to be here today to celebrate 40 years of Fitchburg to be a city, and also to be part of this growing and diverse community. So I have only 5 minutes, so because Joyce and Mike are gonna, be upset with me. So in these 5 minutes, I want to share some of my priorities as a mayor. So I champion since I was an elder the foster and healthy and safe neighborhoods. So what does it mean to live in healthy and safe neighborhoods? It's not only is the opportunity to every single member in our community it doesn't matter if you live in the wealthy neighborhood of the city or in the more dense part of the city, we all deserve to a quality of life, green spaces, transit, and great opportunity of housing and affordable housing. So in order to do that, one of my priorities for the next 3 years is to continue investing in the healthy neighborhood areas. We have 4 in the city of Fitchburg. Last year, we annexed another one, part of the town of Madison. We are going to build the hub, this urban park in the North Fish Hatchery Road. Next year, we hope for by April of 2024, we are going to start the construction. And this park is going to be unique because it's going to have kind of like a beach shelter that is going to be like a small community center. Also, we need to think about our youth. Most of our surrounding communities, they have a teen center. We don't have one. So the idea is to continue looking for the option of how we are going to build this teen center in the west corridor of the city. And as I mentioned, we also need to provide better opportunity of housing. And this is why this year we created 2 new tax incremental districts. We call it Rehab District in the Southdale neighborhood. This is a part of the town of Madison that we attached last year. And also another tax incremental district in the west part of the city is the Anton and Arrowhead. And we continued investing in the fish hatchery corridor. We had a vision for that corridor a couple of years ago. We are continuing investing in that. We did an expansion of that incremental district in 2023 too. We add a couple of more parcels, and also we call this another rehab tax incremental district. As you know, Fitchburg is a champion in investing in green infrastructure and sustainable initiatives. So that one is another of my priority, is continue to investing in solar, geothermal. One of my biggest roles is, dreams is to convert all our fleet, vehicle fleet to be electric. So we'll see. And continue investing in our outreach. As you know, the city of Fitchburg, if you drove today, you have seen we have a lot of development, and we are growing. From the last census, we almost increased our population 2,000 people in the last 2 years and a half. So as we grow and we have newcomers in the city, we need to know how to outreach them, how to inform all the great things that we are doing at the city of Fitchburg. And so we have created an internal committee, City Hall, where we are looking for ways to improve our community outreach and engagement. We had to be very intentional how we outreach our residents, because it's a part of being accountable and transparent with our decisions. And housing. Housing is another issue. It's not a Fitchburg issue. It's not Dane County. It's a nationwide issue. But I firmly believe that we need to be proactive as a city. So 2 years ago, we were very successful 1 year ago to close 2 successful tax incremental districts. We kept those districts open for a year to use the increment to fund our housing fund. So we have a housing fund of about $8 million that we are planning to use those to move forward some initiatives, housing initiatives. So the idea is to develop a strategy on how to increase the number of units, We have a couple of pilot projects like the rent to own. Also, we want to add some workforce housing unit in market rate apartments. We are also partnering with Sustain Dane and develop an efficiency navigators. So in order to do this and more, we need to have a champion inside City Hall. And this is why in my 2024 proposed budget, I added a position. It's called housing specialist. That the idea with this person is to have the capacity to move forward with all these housing initiatives that we are planning to implement in the next couple of years. And the other thing that I planning to do next year is revise the zoning code, because the zoning code sometimes can be a barrier for housing development. So as you know, in my role as an accountant and working with the business community, I always about foster our local community. I always say we need to do our shopping in Fitchburg. If you don't live in Fitchburg, do your shopping in your own community. Support your local businesses. But also, sometimes we get distracted and we think about attracting new business, but we forget to retain our own the business that they are in our community, like this one. So I want to thank Promega for hosting today. Promega is a great corporate partner with the city of Fitchburg. And we have many others here, like Bank, Shine. I don't want to mention all of them, but you know who you are, that continue working in our community. As a mayor, I would like to reach out to the business owner and community and then have coffee with you. Let's talk. I want to know what are the things that keep you awake at night as a business owner, your challenges, your opportunity. So this is my role here, how the city can help you in that transition. As I mentioned before, as we grow, we need to think about how we are going to grow as a community in the next 10 to 20 years. My role as a mayor is to also set up the policies and initiative of where and how we are going to grow. So this is why we have a couple of initiatives and 2 new neighborhood plans in the southeast and the southwest of the city that we just put together the steering committees to start working. Next year, another thing that we are planning to do is a major update of the comprehensive plan, and as I mentioned before, revise the zoning and sign codes. And lastly, or finally, one of the things that we need to be very aware is how we improve the connectivity in our city, the transit, the intra-transit. From west to east, how we can connect the southern area, the north part, to the civic campus where we are right now. So, and this is something that is a priority for me and the people working at City Hall. And the other thing that we are working is with Madison Metro, because we are bringing bus rapid transit to the city of Fitchburg in the next 2 to 3 years. So BRT is coming to Fitchburg. We are very happy to bring that through the North Fish Hatchery corridor. We are part of the north and south route. So this is a couple of my priority in 5 minutes. It's an oversight. If you really want to know in detail my priorities, my vision for the city, please reach out to me, have a coffee, and I can go in detail. I can talk about this for hours. So, but since I have my 5 minutes, so, and the other thing I want to mention to you is that, we are celebrating 40 years, It's great. We have a couple of mayors here, so if all the mayors from previous can stand up and say hi. I want to thank all of these guys because, Jay, you're there. So let's get applause to all of them. I recently had the opportunity to meet with all of them. We have a meeting, and because I am here, every mayor has some residual from the previous administration. So you can see Aaron was in a lot of a slideshow because Aaron, was the previous mayor for 4 years. So some of these initiatives that I am mentioning are, coming from previous administration that I want to continue to work. But I want to thank you, all of you guys, because you are, I need you, because I cannot do all of these priorities by myself. I need all of you. I need all my city staff, all my elders, all of you that are here. So, and celebrating 40 years, 40 años. So as you know, on April 26, in 1983, the Wisconsin State Supreme Court, in a 4-3 decision, allowed the town of Fitchburg to proceed with the incorporation as the city of Fitchburg. Over the past 40 years, Fitchburg has evolved from a bedroom community into a full-service municipality. Fact TV produced a short video that highlights some of the events and investment that helped build our community identity, making Fitchburg a city of the 21st century. Well, this is just a high-level overview that I want to share with you of some of our 40 years and achievement. We look forward to the next 40 years. And this is the question that I asked to you. What are your vision for Fitchburg in the next 40 years? My vision as mayor is to build a welcoming, inclusive community that everyone can call home. Oh, I'm sorry. Fitchburg, Fact TV, they're gonna hate me because I wasn't close to my microphone. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, muchas gracias, and enjoy the video and the rest of the event. Thank you.
Thank you again to Fact TV for that wonderful video. And thank you to Mayor Julia. I have the great honor to introduce our guest speaker today. On November 6, 2018, the people of Wisconsin voted Tony Evers as the 46th governor of Wisconsin. 4 years later, on November 8, 2022, Wisconsinites re-elected Tony Evers as governor. With over 3 decades of public education experience, Governor Evers has spent most of his life fighting for Wisconsin's kids. He began his career in education first as a science teacher in Baraboo, before going on to serve families, students, and communities across the state, including Toma, Oakfield, Verona, and Oshkosh. It was actually at Verona where I attended that I first met him, and as he's fond to remind me, oh, hey, you went to school with my kids. Born and raised in Plymouth, Wisconsin, Governor Evers graduated from Plymouth High School and earned his bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees in educational administration from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. He's married to his high school sweetheart, Kathy, also a former educator. Governor Evers and Kathy are parents of 3 adult children, all public school graduates, and have 9 grandchildren. Please welcome me, and please join me in welcoming Governor Tony Evers.
It's kind of like old home week. Anyway, thanks so much, Andy and Bill, for allowing me to be here. And do I have this microphone in the right place? Can you hear me all right? That's the answer. Good. Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today for this year's Business Appreciation Luncheon and to help celebrate the city of Fitchburg on 40 remarkable years that actually I had a chance to be, my family, part of. For those of you who don't remember the late 80s and early 90s, I was superintendent of schools in Verona, as was mentioned. It was a time when Fitchburg was a heck of a lot smaller and primarily a place where people lived. And I always remember one of my jobs was to make sure that the newbies in Fitchburg and the old timers in Verona got along. And I'm not sure I ever succeeded completely on that issue, but I was able to have my name on Stoner Prairie, actually. I was there when it was finished, and my wife worked in Savannah Oaks for several years, probably about a dozen years. And to emphasize another connection, you've been in place for 40 years, and my daughter, Katie, worked at City Hall for 13 of those 40 years. So how about that? Go City Hall. So it's been incredible to, and you just saw it, see how this community has grown and changed over times and over the years. But I understand that becoming one of Wisconsin's fastest growing cities just doesn't happen overnight. Takes dedication and commitment of individuals willing to invest in the success of the community in which they live and work. And that's exactly what this group here today represents. And Promega, thank you for hosting us today as a perfect example of that growth. They focus not only on scientific discovery, and they creatively apply those discoveries to solve problems, saving lives and creating a healthier world. What could be better? Obviously, sustainability is a core value across the entire company. Just look at the design of these buildings and what a huge worldwide footprint, and who else has a basketball court in their facility. And so while change and growth are exciting, we also recognize how important it is to keep up with the changing needs and continue the positive momentum. The one way that we have partnered in this work at the state level is the last few years is to support local economic development and small business growth. Through our agency partners like the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation, we provided tens of millions of dollars to help support the success of local businesses. And this included our Main Street Bounce Back program, which we're really proud of, which has supported the growth and development of nearly 9,500 small businesses across the state, including 16 businesses right here in Fitchburg, and those businesses receiving collectively between $150,000 and $170,000. Small businesses employ nearly half of Wisconsin workers and are part of the character of every community. So supporting their success has been and will continue to be a top priority for me. Another triumph we've been glad to celebrate is our state's record low unemployment and record high workforce participation rates. Much of the growth is thanks to partners like folks here today, but we've also heard time and time again how organizations continue to struggle to find and keep workers to meet the demand. That's why we've been proud to launch a robust effort at the state level to encourage regional workforce development, including programs like our successful Workforce Innovation Grant Program. And tied with these efforts are other quality of life elements that we know are essential to helping local communities, businesses, and families to survive and succeed. That includes quality, affordable housing opportunities, as you heard the mayor just talking about, access to affordable and reliable childcare to allow parents to stay in the workforce, having schools where both educators and kids can bring their best, fullest selves to the classroom every day, and also having reliable and roads and infrastructure, fixing the damn roads, as we saw a bunch of that going on there. But our work is far from over. As many of you know, I have asked lawmakers to finish up their work on the budget and take up my comprehensive workforce plan to address many of those most pressing issues that I just mentioned. My plan includes investments in the child care industry. I want to spend some time talking about that. We have to make sure that that industry does not collapse, but to ensure our kids have care and working families can stay in the workforce. As you know, that's a very difficult situation now. We're very fearful of some of the folks going out of business, not just here, but all across the state. And for every place that closes or becomes smaller, there's a child that is no longer going to that child care organization, and that child is going to force somebody out of the workforce, whether it's a man, a father, or a mother. So it's important. It's important for our economy. It's important for our kids. And I recently visited a Fitchburg child care company, Maricopa Learning Center on Brassica Road, right near the school, the Oregon school that you have here. And what an amazing place. The people that run that, are they here at all? Yes, hi. Thank you. It's an amazing place. Of course, a big waiting list and a bilingual learning experience for little kids. You can't beat it. I met an amazing 4-year-old there who was, I think, in 4K, and she was bilingual. There's no question about it. And you think about the opportunities like that are so important for our kids, and the program at Mariposa is just a really good example of that. We see that all across the country. And there's lots of others in Fitchburg who also do this good work. And we have to make sure that that industry survives, because if it doesn't, we already have a shortage of workers. It's going to be even more difficult. My plan would also invest more than $100 million in our UW campuses and technical colleges that received no increase in this last budget, and to recruit and retain the next generation of our workforce, as well as $175 million to bolster our healthcare and education workforce sectors that have struggled for years. The legislature must approve also the UW-Madison School of Engineering. And you think about that decision that was made by the legislature, it's something that's already paid for. We have the money in the budget. They went out and raised lots of money, private money, to increase it so that they can increase their enrollment by 1,000 students every single year. And what better use? But frankly, I'll say it out loud, it was a political decision. And we cannot afford to make political decisions that end up like that. And with more than $7 billion sitting in state coffers on top of our already record rainy day fund, there's no reason why we shouldn't be investing in our workers, our working families, reducing those barriers to work and ensuring that we maintain the positive economic momentum that we have. But in order to have this done, we have to work together, folks. We need your help now more than ever to continue fighting for a brighter, stronger, and more sustainable future that we see for Wisconsin. So with that, congratulations on 40 years. It may seem like double that for many of you, but I've been part of it, my family's been part of it, and Fitchburg just has a place in our hearts, and I just so thankful for the opportunity to be here today. So thank you much. Have a great day.
Once again, thank you to Governor Evers. As we celebrate the last 40 years of Fitchburg as a city, imagine what is possible in the next 40 years as Fitchburg continues to move forward. Thank you for attending the 2023 Fitchburg Business Appreciation Luncheon. As you leave today, please exit through the same doors you entered the gymnasium. We appreciate your business and the employees that you have here in Fitchburg, and we'll see you next year. Thank you.